Hello and welcome everyone. We're on drawing session number 2 for the day, and just continuing off this drawing. This is called The Lamentation by Bernardo Fernandino. Let me look up his name again. Actually, I should probably get my keyboard and mouse so it's easier to access my computer, my laptop, which I got in front of me. So this is basically a series of studies while I wait for the ink on my pen to run out. Batista Franco, I was totally wrong. And The Lamentation, let's see, Batista Franco, he was an artist, an Italian artist in the 1500s. And let's see what we can find about Batista Franco. So we're going to copy paste this. And I'm using this great website. So this great website called Getty, which is a well-known museum / research center in California, and named after J. Paul Getty, of course. And they got this thing now that they do where you can actually use almost all the images that they've documented, 86,000 of them, for free. So he was an Italian mannerist painter, printmaker, etching artist. He painted a couple chapels, did a lot of religious artwork, and that's not necessarily my thing, religious artwork or Renaissance, classic Italian Renaissance art. That's not my thing, but I just thought it'd be interesting to go out and try different ideas. So right now, all I'm doing is studies, practice, call it whatever you like. But essentially copying, studies, practice, exercise, all those things as I keep going until the ink runs out on this pen. So far this is what I got. This was a leg study earlier, but this is the other photo that I'm working on. And again, this was already drawn. I'm pretty much just copying it. So that said, we'll go ahead and get moving here. Not gonna dilly-dally too long as we continue on developing developing this image. So shaking up my pen a little bit because I got to get this ink out of it. I know this pen is just slowly running out of ink, but it's been like a week now, and I'm just pushing myself to just keep this project going and until the ink fully runs out, which I don't know when that'll be, but right now it just seems like it's going to be a while. So I don't have too many expectations there, but you know what, we'll keep going with it until it's gone. So we'll keep this project going. And some of the things I'm working on right now, a couple of the figures, of course, but I gotta add some wrinkles. There's a lot of clothing in this. So basically what I'm looking for is some shapes and forms that I can kind of just hold on to get an idea of something about the way classical Italian artists use their pens. So I think a roller ballpoint pen is definitely not the best pen to be using for this, to copy this style of art, because it's not a very fine point. It's pretty thick compared to what these artists do, and just the style that they do is very delicate. And if any of you want to look this up, again, it is Bernardo. Let's look at this again. Batista Franco is the name of the artist, and this piece is called Lamentation, which is what I'm copying right now. So Lamentation is what I'm copying, and maybe I should zoom in because I've already done such a large version of this, quite a larger version of this. So I should probably zoom in a bit and just go from there. So here we go. We're gonna draw in some of the details. So how's everyone doing today? Feel free to join in, come in and chat. Another challenge that I have for myself with these pieces is going through and ultimately using up the ink on this pen. So this is a rOtring 600. Welcome everybody. I see a handful of you are here. Feel free to chat. Use whatever language you need. rOtring 600, and I've been using this ink refill for about almost 40 hours now. It's been going, just drawing in the sketchbook that I have. And originally I set out, I was like, oh, it'll probably only last like 6 hours of heavy drawing, because that's usually how long pens last, is just a couple hours, right? I feel like you could buy like a plastic pen, one of the mass-produced plastic like pens, and use them like once every month, and one day they're just gone, right? Like you sign a couple papers and one day it just like totally dried up. But with these pens, this refill, it has lasted me over 40 hours. Like imagine that. That blows my mind, because I just had no idea that it was possible for a pen to last that long. So this is news to me, but let's go ahead and start drawing out our figures here. I highly admire the Italian Renaissance artists' passion for drawing fabrics, because I can't stand drawing fabric, but it is definitely a gift, a skill that should be appreciated. You can always like look at an Italian Renaissance painter and you could see that they put so much detail into fabric. And fabric is like one of those things. I tried drawing a garbage bag the other day. Not as elegant as a fabric, of course, but I was trying to draw and I was like, look at all these creases in here. Who would want to? And I guess artists all have their tricks for drawing things. No one draws every single every single wrinkle and crease in a piece of fabric, but or maybe they do. There's some artist out there that does that, I'm sure. There's some artist out there that does something as interesting as that, but it's definitely not me. And let's see, let's get a wrinkle right around here. We need I need a fold to come in down here and another fold internally. So just drawing some folds. I'll share some progress as we go. But, due to camera limitations, I can't necessarily show everything that I'm doing. What I find with YouTube that I find so interesting is that I get more engagement this way when when I can actually talk and speak directly to the camera than when it's only facing my artwork. So, feel free to jump in, chat, engage. This isn't like television where you can't talk to the person who's on it. I was watching a movie yesterday. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it. But it's a movie with Owen Wilson, awesome actor, hilarious. He's got such a great natural affinity for the characters that he does. And he did this movie called Painter. I think it's on Hulu. I believe it's on Hulu. You should be able to find it on Hulu. For those of you that don't have Hulu, maybe you can find it on Amazon Prime or something, or whatever you watch. But it was an interesting movie if you're an artist or you like the arts or you like watching the arts, because it's based on Bob Ross, the life of Bob Ross. May he rest in peace. But it's based on Bob Ross's life. I'm guessing they weren't able to get the full rights to do Bob Ross, so they created a character named Carl Nargle. What a great name, right? Nargle. Carl Nargle. And basically, what is this? So that's one of the knees. I see. So the knee comes down here. So just above there, goes down and around. So I'm trying to get some of the certain details that I'm trying to get right now. Oh yeah, so back to the movie, the painter with Owen Wilson. I don't remember the other actors' names, but there's some recognized faces in comedy. I just um, totally that you would know. I just can't name them right now, but super great show or movie about like the life of Bob Ross. And what I thought was so funny is they I think they couldn't use the actual name Bob Ross, so they decided to go with this like this other character named Carl Nargle, and ultimately, they came to some ideas that I thought were hilarious, like what it was it like to be a woman hitting on Bob Ross. And while I don't think the movie is totally accurate, I'm sure it's loosely based on this concept of Bob Ross. Uh, I find that idea very amusing. Like, what was it like if you're a woman who was into Bob Ross? How would you hit on him, and what would that be like? That was kind of funny. I love that part of the movie because not because it's like, oh well, what would it be like, for women to date Bob Ross, but because it kind of like pokes fun at like the awkwardness of date, a lot of the awkwardness of dating in general for some people. For some people. So here we go. I need to draw some fabric wrinkles here. Some more fabric. Fabric's such an interesting thing. It's such a nice challenge, yet so challenging yet so rewarding to do. And when you do good fabric, people are just fascinated because it seems so difficult. Fabric seems like such a difficult thing to execute on. But the Italian Renaissance artist did such a great job. So that's a finger. This will be a finger. And we'll draw another finger right here. This needs to be about the same height here. These are some of the most jacked up fingers that I've seen, but that's okay. Just because they're Italian Renaissance painters means that their work is unquestionable, right? Unquestionable. Is that just a shadow? Like what's going on here? This guy's got. If you were to say that this might pass for AI. See, I see one, two, three, four, five, like 7 different hands here, fingers, or whatever. That's okay. It's an Italian Renaissance artist, so I think they get a lot of. I think they get a pass because they didn't have the same. I mean, sure they had more time. Like their artists had a lot more time to like study work, especially if they were artists. And let's see, this is going to come down and around, and then here we go. So we're going to draw this arm around. Trying to widen the arm to give it some more size here. And here we go. So here's something about the shoulder that I see going on is the shoulder is going to have a chest that comes down. And just slowly getting some of the forms and shapes of this body. And this is going to come down right around the wrist here, right around the arm. So here we go, a little update. Just a little update working on this figure here. I believe this figure is just some dude lounging. He's got curly hair. I don't know the history behind this. This is obviously a religious piece drawn by a Renaissance artist. Wouldn't that be cool? Just like any artist that was in Italy during the Renaissance. I guess if they lived in Florence, they were basically considered Renaissance artists. Isn't that pretty amazing? Like imagine just living somewhere, and just because you were there, being an artist. I mean, you know, this one was pretty successful. I think they did a lot of like churches and stuff, but basically anyone who was there doing art was considered like a Renaissance artist. Basically, isn't that pretty neat? All you need is a city that's well known enough, and you just need to create art there, and you'll be considered like, you know, one of the greats. So maybe not, right? Maybe that's not the case, but what if it is? What if just about any artist who was in the Renaissance in Italy, in Florence, was considered great? Anyway, so Naomi O'Hare, welcome. MC Chavez, welcome. What's going on? How are y'all doing today? Good to see you. What brings you out here? A little bit of boredom, probably, right? But other than that, a little bit of boredom on YouTube, just flipping, and you found something interesting, something finally interesting, right? Not that other YouTubers are not interesting, but which but one thing that you do when you come out and see one of my live streams is you support the arts, not just gaming and all that, which gaming's fine, whatever. I have nothing against gaming. I really appreciate the words. MC Chavez and Naomi O'Hare, thank you for loving the work. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing those wonderful thoughts of yours. And let's see. So we got thing here and then another. And another piece right there. And then underneath, we're going to go finding a nice balance here. So let's see. So what's going on? Brings you all out here. How are you doing this morning, this afternoon? Really great to have y'all. So here we go. We're gonna go drop this into. Let's see what's going on. I'm trying to figure out. It can be really easy to get lost in your own drawings if you're not paying enough attention of like what's being drawn and like where, especially if it's a lot. But that's why it's important to take visual breaks, you know, take breaks away from what you were drawing, because it really helps a lot when you get back into it. So here we go. We got a hand, and there's a shadow on this hand. So let's draw this shadow in here. That's going to be shadowed in. That the hand is going to be this wrist here is going to be shadowed. And let's see. So how big do we want this body? Let's draw this figure's head. This woman is going to be kind of like so and like that, and we're going to have like so. That is good advice. Thank you. I'm glad that that was helpful. Yeah, so are you looking to, are you an artist too, Mr. Chavez, or are you hopefully YouTuber looking to grow your YouTube channel? What are you about? Tell us what's going on. Where are you from, and what do you do? What do you like to do? I told myself I would start doing that again, or doing that like a radio show, kind of like call in, like, all right, Jim from Wisconsin, what's your question? What question do you have for us today? So much easier to draw what someone else drew. And one thing that makes it easier when you draw what someone else has already drawn is the idea that, you know, you already know what lines you got to make, whereas you do like to make art. Fantastic. Hey, so, you know, this makes me think that I should probably like start up like a little art community group. That'd be nice. The Modern Artists Art Community Group. Would you consider yourself, what type of art do you? You always get paint on your clothes. Hey, yeah, me too. Me too. You know what I started doing is I started painting my clothes. Like if I'll use certain clothes to paint, and then I'll just start painting them purposely, adding paint to them to add design. So, you know, rather than making it about, oh no, I got paint on my clothes, it becomes like, hey, you know, I painted this myself. I did it on purpose. Look at this design I made. I would show you right now, but hold on. Actually, I could show you. Give me a moment and let me uh, draw out the rest of this section here, this area. I can actually show you an example. You can become your own designer. Let's see if I can find these shorts here. So here's one I did recently. A pair of shorts that I got paint on. Oh, you do? Yeah, I should probably get fabric markers would be nice, but all I have is oil paint. Yeah, this is what I did. You know, a little markup. Added my trademark face down there. Threw some stains on the back and wrote some random words. And there you go. You got a fashionable pair of shorts rather than just paint stained clothes. It's the way to do it. I think it's definitely worth all artists considering. Not all artists, but you know, artists that want to, whatever. So here we go. These figures are definitely very complex here. So I'm gonna keep going and let's finish our figures. Let's do one figure and continue on here. So let's see how we're gonna do this body here. This body comes down. And then we're gonna go around. just love being able to see the way classical artists make lines. So let's see, that's cool. Yeah, thank you. So I'll show this in a bit, but right now I want to get a couple other features done here. A couple of the features still need work. So this is coming down from the chest, and I need to draw up here. And let's go like so. So draw around on the mouth here. Add a more angular. I barely have any idea what's going on, so I'm just kind of like copying and just hoping for the best here. That, you know, whatever I'm copying, that's the one thing about drawing that you know is hard to do sometimes, is just trusting what you're seeing, that what you're seeing is going to get you the result that you want. And let's go right into these clothes here. So these are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're gonna go around. So let's do these classical. Okay. So let's see. Do oil paint stain my hands? No, they don't actually. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's maybe you leave them on for a day or two where they stain your pants. But usually, if I get rid of them, you know, wash my hands right after a painting session, usually they don't stain, from my experience. But yeah, definitely love oil paints though. they definitely stain your hands. Like, you know, if you leave it on for a long time, it'll stay on. Like for an hour as you're painting, it'll stay on. But I haven't had the experience of them getting too far stained that I can't, um, you know, fix it or whatever. That I can't wash it off. So let's see. I got the arm here. This little like gap right here kind of messes up my wrist movement. Alright, so I see a crease that I need to work on right there just to create this shadow of a cloak, this concept of a cloak. People don't wear enough cloaks nowadays. What happened to wearing cloaks? Cloaks are great. I think more people should wear cloaks. I think I might have to buy a cloak and start wearing it. Why do people not wear cloaks no more? Do they just like go out of style, or like what happened? Just let's bring back cloaks, people. Or is it too weird? Like, is it weird when a person wears a cloak? I don't know. I've seen one person wear a cloak before, and I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. Like, cloaks are, I like cloaks. I thought this person has a very good sense of style. So, oh my goodness, I think I might almost be out of, nope, not yet. Not quite yet on the ink. Okay, so that's the hair, the tufts of hair. Let's go shoulder, 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 shoulder. Bring the shoulder around, and we're gonna bring down the shoulder, tighten up the lighting around it, go around. That's almost horizontal. And let's go probably like that, right around here is where the elbow is going to be. And then right around here is where it's going to come around. So share some updates right now. This is where this is. I love the Renaissance look of this. Or the, it feels like Romeo and Juliet-esque, you know, just that classical, like, medieval, old Italian painting look. Or old Italian painting drawing. I mean, of course, this is from that era, so, you know, there was like, what other art was there around that time other than these classical drawings? I mean, I guess if you looked in other countries, you could find something, but also there was a lot of art that was destroyed, unfortunately, sadly, during World War II, which who knows what we could have if that they were not destroyed. So here we go. Let's tighten up this hand here. Got a couple features on this hand that we gotta tighten up. Okay, so we're gonna go like that, like this. And I'm seeing some ridges right here. Actually, let's go right here and let's tighten up the body. So we need to add some definition around the body parts here. So let's just get this center line going. And let's figure out where to draw some of these other parts here. So we're gonna go right there, go right there, and go like so. And let's see, message retracted. So MC, I keep missing your messages. Now it's like they're like a mystery, and I'm really curious about what you said, or what you were asking or requesting or whatever. I know I'm not fully focused on the room right now. So let's bring these clothes down. Looks like there's a dress here, so we're just gonna go go here. Oh no, I got this big dark spot here. Just a ton of ink that splashed out. That's okay. This is happening actually all over the place. So when you showed a drawing, you said it was made. Ah, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. That's cool. So again, I do want to share the artist. You know, I don't take full credit for the thing. So this is by actually a copy. So I'm copying as a study of Battista Franco. He's an Italian Renaissance artist from 1510 to 1561 is the estimated time. And it's called The Lamentation. So this work itself has is a the work itself was originally a classical art piece from the Renaissance. And right now, I'm just doing a study of it. And here we go. So the body's going to come around from like the upper arm here. Come around like so. And then we're going to bring the body the way Italian artists, classical Italian artists drew their figures is pretty darn amazing if you ask me. But I'm sure everybody knows that. I feel like there's not a single person on earth who thinks that the Italian Renaissance artists were not good. Like some people might think like it's too, you know, uptight maybe. Like it just feels like, you know, just feels like too uptight or there's not enough personality in it. But you know, expressionism and all that only came after a few centuries after. It's only been around for the past like few hundred years or so compared to, you know, 500 years. But I don't think anyone is ever like Italian Renaissance art is ugly, right? No one ever says it's ugly, even though they might not like it. It might not be for them, but no one ever says it's ugly. That's one good thing about the Italian Renaissance artists. No one has that like, ew, Italian Renaissance art. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Or at least not that I know of. So you try to draw people, but you're in better. Well, that's awesome. Drawing flowers is fantastic. See, I was listening. If you ever listen to, I'm just gonna assume you know who he is. But if you ever listen to a biography or read a biography about Vincent van Gogh, here's the interesting thing: is he was not good at drawing people, and you can actually tell this. Like, yes, later on he started to make people in his own way, and they became very expressive in some of his like most popular paintings or portraits, but he just wasn't really good at it first. Models didn't even want him to paint them for most of the time that he was around. Models would not he could not find models if his life depended on it, sadly. So knowing this, um, knowing that, I'm trying to find the right line here to. Trying to find the right line here. There's a lot of lines to look at right now. So there we go. Let's just go like this. So where was I? I was saying, oh yeah, he couldn't find models. Like you know, but he drew lots of flowers. He painted lots of flowers, but cannot find models. So there you go. That's how you're like Vincent van Gogh. But take care, MC. See you around. Thank you for tuning in while you could. Appreciate that. Come back next time, my friend. So let's go like this. And go around the ribs. Oh yeah, so they use they create abs like this. That's interesting. Okay. And just a subtle yeah, I guess the Italian Renaissance artists couldn't be too controversial because, you know, they were being hired by like churches and political leaders and all that, and it's like, you know, you don't want to piss those people off because they're the only people with money back in the day. So, but now, you know, there's a lot more freedom for artists, I think, which is a beautiful thing. Well, it looks like there's some fabric that kind of goes behind him, so we're gonna go. And let me see how I can. Oh yeah, so his curly hair goes down to here. I'm gonna go. Go lines across, straight lines all the way across here. And there we go. So drawing up this figure. Let's see how these pants are going to go. So we're going to draw these hash marks around the bottom here. On the bottom of this piece. And let's see, how many more lines do I need to ultimately match this concept, this idea. let's see how this goes. Alright, and let's go into the neck here. I think the neck's pretty good for now. Arm needs a little bit more shadow. And here we go. So we're going to go boom, 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 boom. So here's a little update for the viewers here. So I'll talk about this a little bit. So again, this drawing, as you can see here, I did get a little bit of an ink splatter there, but that's okay. So this drawing is based on, it's basically a copy, my copy of Lamentation by Batista Franco, I believe his name is. I'm not going to look it up a fifth time. Hopefully by now I know it. And here's some interesting figures, some interesting parts is like just looking at classical Italian Renaissance art and seeing all of their lines, their hash lines, but they do it very lightly. My hash lines are a bit darker and rougher, probably because I'm using a darker ballpoint pen with some very dark ink. But I really love seeing how the classical Italian artists made their details. Like you could see, how they made like some of their curves with just these very small hash marks and how they were so detailed in their fabrics. Now, I don't really care about the detail in the fabrics that much, but I do find it interesting, how they chose some of the marks they did. And hold on, I see something I want to add here. Like I feel like this arm is a bit too, it feels too natural, or it feels too drawn. It doesn't feel like it's a natural flowing object, so I had to fix the arm there. But yeah, it's just nice to draw something a little different than what I'm used to. So that said, let's keep going and do another figure. So there's going to be another figure here that I need to fill in this space. I think we could fit her. I think we could go ahead and fit them into this. So let's see, we're going to go like right here. This person's going to come up. And we're going to go like a dress right here. And then we're going to go some other parts of the dress right there. Let's go ahead and just start the arm here. So the arm's going to come right by the head. And I'm estimating that's about the size of his head, so we're going to go like that, and we're going to go come around. This arm might be a little big, but that's okay. We're going to figure this out. And I'm going to bring this up right around here. A little up or more past the shoulder of this other figure here. And I think I might almost be out. Nope, a little bit more. Still got some more ink in this. Thought I was almost out, but that is not the case. And then I need to draw this hand. So this hand shouldn't be as big as the others, but let's see if I can make this circle a bit smaller. One, two, so that's 1, 1, 2, 3. This will be the third finger. Third. You tell that this was one of the unimportant figures. And we're gonna go across here. So this arm has to be a lot longer because the chin, oh. All right, let's see. So this arm kind of came way down. So that's okay. I can draw the arm longer and I just have to fix the hand a little bit. go. So and here we go. So drawing into the hand here, getting this wrist, and soon we're going to finish this other figure. Not too enthusiastic about drawing these hands, but because even I can tell like the hands look a little weird, even though, you know, we got to give the classic Italian Renaissance artists credit for, you know, just being artists at that time, but also at the same time, I wouldn't call it the best hands I've ever seen, you know. They did a good job with the foreshortening that's going on. I like this idea of how much less detailed the figures are getting as they get further away. Alright, so let's see, what do we have here? We have like a little mountain that comes around to the top of her head. We're gonna go carve straight down, and okay, so there's some clouds or something. And let's go around, and she's the final figure on the right side, so I can actually play around with some of the designs on the right side now. And now let's get some of the designs that are on this, on the top of this thing that's on, I guess it's a scarf or some type of headwear. I don't know exactly what it would be called. Looks like something a nun would wear, but I don't think this is a nun because this looks like a male figure. Although on the other hand, it's not uncommon for like classical artists to use the same models for everything, with some of the models that are supposed to be female even being males. That's not totally uncommon. All right, and we're back. You know what's funny is more people come to view my streams when I mute myself than when I actually am talking and drawing at the same time. But anyway, here we go. Here's a little update on this drawing. Working on this figure up here right now, and just going in and updating all these figures piece by piece, one by one, putting them in. And this is the figure we're working on right now. And eventually, you know, we'll go through all of them again and tighten them all up. So this is not my own creation that I made up myself. I do want to... Hey, I'm Aditya. I recognize that name. I feel like you were here a little while ago. Not today, but like, you know, some other day. But yes, so this is based on a drawing called The Lamentation, which was a study done by Battista Franco, an Italian Renaissance artist from the 1500s who did a lot of churches. And I don't know if this ever became an actual painting, but they do say it was a study, or it was a pre-sketch, I think. Not a study, it was a sketch up. So, which means, you know, there was a plan to turn it into something bigger. Now, I don't know exactly. I wasn't able to find the exact details of whether it was ever turned into anything bigger, but it looks like it could definitely be an idea for a painting. If it wasn't painted, you know, it definitely could have been, or some of the figures were used as inspiration for another painting, definitely. So thank you, Amadita, for the comments. That's you. You have That's you. Thank you. Love my work. Appreciate you. It is wonderful to hear. So how have you been? Have you been since the last time you visited this live stream? Hope you're doing fantastic. Have you been up to anything creative, anything new, outrageous? Or here's what I've been. So I don't sculpt, but I definitely draw a lot. And you know, I consider myself an interactive artist, right? Like somebody who interacts with my live streams, and that is part of the work I do. So let me continue on with this artist before I get too far deep into these other figures here. And here we go. That's my favorite line. Here we go. Paint, draw, sculpt. I haven't sculpted yet. Sculpting, you know, it's like once you get into art, you just like you want to do more and more, and then you know the bills just start piling up for the art, and you're like, all right, so should I, you know, master one thing, or like, you know, focus on one thing first because I already have all the supplies, or should I move on to the next one? But here's the thing: is the more I look at art, like there's art everywhere. You can use almost anything as like supplies. I could use the mud outside for a tool if I wanted to, and be creative with it. So any limitation that I'm like, oh, I can't do that is pretty much in my head, right? Like I can afford sculpting supplies, but it's all a matter of the desire to and whether I should, I make the decision to focus on the art that I have, the work that I have, the materials that I have, or do I want to suddenly just move into a whole new one? But that is one thing about college, though, is I think if you go to college or school for art, is you're pretty much forced to buy all the supplies and to try everything. I find that kind of neat about college. But I guess, eventually you lean into like one or two things and you don't, stray too far out of that. So actually, let's draw up some of these mountains here. Some of these mountains are gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this. This is like very Asian, the way that they're drawing like clouds and stuff. So here we go. I'm gonna go here. So here's what we got so far. Filled up this entire section on this side, and we're gonna start moving into the other end here. I did this, so what I should have done though, so I'm a righty, which means now when I do this side, I have to have my hand on this side, which is not a good thing. So if I had planned it better, I probably should have started from the left. But anyways, we'll see how this goes. It's all good. Not too concerned. But, if I had thought earlier, because originally I thought I was just going to draw maybe like these two figures. But then as I started to look at it, I was like, maybe I should do more. Let's do more. Let's do more. And now it's becoming a whole thing. So it's becoming a whole thing, and I'm just gonna go and just draw everything that's here pretty much, or at least all the figures, all the main things. People are usually what the I think the old Renaissance painters used to find as like the most important things in a painting is the people. So I'm going to start with this hand, and got some good foreshortening there. And let's go like this. So we're gonna let the drapery fall onto the hand, nice and natural here. We're gonna do a arm that's about this head length, so about the full length of the head, so it's like there, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see what else we got. So it's definitely quite a lot of lines here. And here we go. Let's put this object in there, this figure's hand here. There's an object. Let's see, this object is going to go up. go. Getting drawn. We're getting really sucked into these drawings now. Oh, hey. Oh my goodness. I've been talking to the mute button. But here we go. So this is my pen drawing of Batista Franco's The Lamentation. And yeah. So one of my first attempts actually at drawing a classical Renaissance style drawing. But you know, I like to say that at the end of the day, um, you know, if you draw, if you like, you know, really learn how to draw, you draw anything. You just gotta know how to just trust yourself to copy the details. And there's a few details that I have that are a little bit off. Let me see if I can work on this a bit more. Thank you for the kind words, Amadita. Appreciate you. But I'm just trying to see where else I can add maybe just a couple more details to tighten this up. I mean, I think we basically got it. It is a beautiful scene that this person has captured all in a drawing. It's pretty amazing. Alexa, what is the definition of lamentation?
Lamentation is the act of grieving or expressing sorrow. It is an expression of regret for misfortune that has occurred. Lamentation is an emotional response to a negative event.
So one thing that, you know, you gotta see when you look up more detail is, you know, certain figures that get shadowed. You know what I really like? So this is a pen drawing. The original was also a pen drawing, but it was like a different type of pen, and it was much finer. But I think this gives it more of like a comic book quality almost. And yeah, there's a bit of comic book quality to this. So you can learn a lot by studying other people's drawings. How old am I? I am 34 years old. 3-4. Good old 3-4. What makes you ask? So, finished with this drawing. Let me exit this. We're going to go... There's so many more like little details that I probably could have added, but we're going to go on to another one. So that was Batista Franco. I want to write that down. Batista Franco. Lamentation. What should I study next? Let's go with young woman assisted by gentleman. That's ink, gray wash, gouache, heightening. I don't even know what that means. Gouache, heightening. Interior St. Peter's Basilica. Wow, somebody did an interior drawing of St. Peter's Basilica. Look, my goodness, this detail. I love like looking deeper into paintings than you try to look at detail. You look at it from afar and it's like so detailed, but when you look closer, it just like gets less and less detailed. Like every individual piece isn't as detailed. So I could pass for 19. Yeah, I definitely could. I do sometimes get mixed for a 19-year-old or 20, someone in their 20s. Ooh, here's a good one. Leonardo da Vinci drawing. Early 40s when he made this caricature of a man with bushy hair in Milan, Italy around 1495. He was beginning the Last Supper mural for the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie. Inventor, artist, mathematician, naturalist, anatomist, engineer, philosopher. You know, I wonder if he could be considered all those things today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like today it's really hard to say that you're an inventor, artist, mathematician, naturalist, anatomist, engineer, philosopher, because, you know, at the end of the day, he really, you know, he did a lot of things. He drew a lot of things and ideas, and I think because of that, he was called an inventor or a mathematician. But, you know, an artist today, if they were to draw plants, you wouldn't call them a naturalist. Or, you know, if they were drawing, you know, geometric shapes, they wouldn't be called a mathematician. They would just be called An artist. But anyway, let's see. So this drawing was originally 6.6 by 5.4. So 2.5 by 2 inches. No way. So it's like a 3-inch by 2-inch drawing. That's pretty cool. All right. So just a little itty bitty sketch by Leonardo da Vinci. I wonder how they even knew it was him. So I'm gonna raise this up. Actually, let's just do a small sketch in this corner right here. So we're gonna start with. Let me start from left to right this time. So we're gonna go with the hair here. And I wonder how much of this hair is like missing certain features. And I love being able to see art and like know enough about it that you kind of like figure out what the artist was going for. So I can like see this piece and I could be like, oh, well, you know, he did less detail hair probably because he was trying to just capture the light. Or use less marks here, I should say. He was trying to use less marks and detailed hair in this section because he was trying to capture light, is what I was trying to go for there. So here we go. We're going to do an ear. So how about you, Amadita? What have you been up to? What's new? You had a business meeting, you said? You had a busy week and a business call. That's cool. And you're taking a little break to just go ahead and just relax, huh? Relax by watching some art streams. Very nice. And I'm glad that I can be a part of your day to help you either wind down or unwind or whatever it is that you need from a live stream right now. Whether it's just, you know, what I thought about earlier is this idea that sometimes I probably talk way too fast for the typical person to get enjoyment. Because I was watching this movie yesterday. It was called The Painter. And it was basically a character that was like Bob Ross, played by Owen Wilson. It's a comedy. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? I sometimes talk way too fast on my live streams. How can anybody possibly follow me and, you know, get what I'm saying sometimes? Because I just speak so fast. Especially, I know some of my viewers are viewing from outside the country or outside of an American speaking or English speaking, I should say, English speaking country. And I imagine that can actually intimidate people from coming in, especially if your English is not ideal. I'm not saying this about you. I'm just saying in general. Earlier, I had somebody from Ethiopia, and I imagine that their first language is not English, but they're learning, and they're learning. They probably have it in school, but like it's not their first language, and just by speaking quickly, I wonder if it prevents some people from actually coming into the room simply because I'm such a fast speaker sometimes. I just like go on and on about stuff. But anyway, that's making me realize that I should slow down my pace of speech in my streams. And it can be so easy to forget that but I will make the effort to make my live streams more accessible to more and more people simply by speaking at a much slower pace that's easier to follow and even more peaceful. You know, art's supposed to be like a relaxing thing. At least if you're watching it for a live stream. The last thing you want to do is be stressed out watching someone do a drawing, and I think that's why Bob Ross appealed to so many people is, you know, his voice was just so chill and calm and like relaxing, and crazy to think that he was in the military. I think he was in the Air Force for a certain amount of years. But this idea that, you know, a nice calm voice can be much more welcoming than my usual craziness, right? So here we go. I'm gonna draw down into here. There's a lot of detail in this face. And here we go. So I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. And we're gonna go in to get these details. Let's get these nice details here. And with the drawing, I'm basing this drawing right here on a sketch by Leonardo da Vinci of actually a caricature. And it's interesting to think that Leonardo da Vinci, you know, one of the most, you know, we consider such an intelligent mind, a genius, drew caricatures. That pen is really still going. Yes, it is, T. Dot. This pen is really still going. And even after I'm done with this pen, I'll probably do another pen, another ink pen to see how long that lasts for. This is just one of first of many pen projects that I'm gonna do to see how long they could go for. Let's see, let's go eyebrows right here. This is an amazing caricature. Too bad Leonardo da Vinci didn't become a cartoonist. Probably would have been pretty darn good. They probably could have used some humor back then, no? So how are you doing, T. Dot? Welcome again to this live stream. I don't necessarily call it my live stream because I think in order for it to be live, you gotta have viewers, right? So viewers are part of this entire experience of live streaming. And when you have viewers, it is no longer just your live stream. It is the live stream of everybody who's there. Unlike a TV show, I think an interactive live stream is never just one person's. But yeah, that's all just my own personal philosophy. Doesn't belong to one person. But then again, you know, you got TV shows that are produced by multiple people, and they have a lot of different people involved, and you might call it Bob Ross's show or something, but maybe that's not always the case. Maybe that's not always accurate. I wonder how he came up with this character. It is pretty darn good. Let me show you what I got going on so far. So you're planning on getting the set pencil and pen set. Try your thing. You hope you end up getting it from eBay. Try my thing. What do you mean? What thing are we talking about? So this is a copy, not an exact copy. I'd actually like to study more of Leonardo da Vinci's caricatures, but this is my copied version of Leonardo da Vinci's caricature of a face. Some things that need improvement on it. Is it crazy that I'm literally the only person on YouTube that you watch live like ever? No, I don't think that's crazy. You know, once you find something to watch, you know, you just got to stick with it, right? Like consistent, and you know what to expect, and I think it's a fascinating thing that YouTube has created this thing where we can actually the discovery system, their algorithm, has helped you find someone to watch that you enjoy, that you click with, that matches what you're looking for. I think that's the cool thing. So yeah, it's an amazing, interesting thing. So crazy. So here we go. One thing I'm learning about caricature is like, this is one scary caricature for an old school classic drawing by Leonardo da Vinci. Like, who knew that Da Vinci could draw like horror monsters, right? No one would think of that. You have to do your research to find that out. Let's see, using a pen till it's dead. Because you never watch anyone live. Yeah, well, you know, I really appreciate you being here and jumping in. And I hope that, you know, you get to find sparks in your creative efforts. Sparks that help you creatively get to where you want to go, to do the creative ideas that you want to work on. So that's there. Let's see, we're gonna go with this face, and it's got the ear right there. So let me get here and into the shoulder here. Mouth, the shoulder's gonna come from around the mouth. It doesn't really put too much detail outside of the face, so we're not going to either. But what we will do is draw the clothes here. So the clothes are gonna come down. I'm gonna go like that and have go around this chin. So are you doing a YouTube stream? Is that your plan? Do you do a YouTube stream to do the pen and tell instead, or are you just in general, that's what you're doing? Just for personal exercise? Because it could take, I mean, just be prepared. It could take a long, long, long time, like hours. But you know what? I definitely love this because it makes me draw more. You know, it's like I'm the type of person that needs to come up with my own things to challenge myself with. I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do this or do that. I need like a challenge in order to keep myself motivated to try different things, or to keep myself going for certain activities. So if I don't have like a personal challenge like that, I just might not do it. So I have to make up some fun things to make myself go. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of lives, especially if you go on TikTok, I mean, I think most people, especially TikTok, Instagram, they do lives, but they, you know, they do what the majority of TikTok wants, which is sometimes it can be silly, sometimes it can be, you know, trending. There's like live people that just do things on trending lives, but you know, as you could see, um, art probably isn't as popular, you know, unfortunately. And I think with art, you really got to put yourself out there because it's not always the easiest thing to just show. You know, I think a lot of people will like think about their careers and like, oh, you know, as an artist, I can only show my best work. So it's hard to show yourself failing or to show yourself to be open to showing yourself uh, doing less than like perfect work. For some people, it can be. I mean, some people don't care, but as far as what I've seen on social media and why I think more artists don't stream is because of this fact that, uh, you know, this idea that most people only want to show the best parts, right? Like the social media influencer only wants to show best parts of their work. They don't want to show like the challenges and, you know, the failures and all that. And most people don't want to see it either, really. I mean, no one wants to see someone struggling. I guess, you know, some people say they don't want to be struggling. They don't want to be seen struggling to draw. But you know what? Once you get through that, once you get over the hump, it's a beautiful thing, you know? Once you can get over that fear, that challenge. Or, you know, you adopt the mindset like you're never struggling, you're just constantly learning and you never have to worry about it. And it's all a mindset shift. So let's see, would you say you think you'll do video first, then live? Yeah, that's a great idea. I just learned of time lapsing. So I don't know if you know this function, but I just learned about it. Uh, it is the time lapse function on your camera, and basically you set your camera up. You set your camera up, and you click time lapse, and basically you turn like a 20-minute video into 20 seconds. And I didn't know about that function. I didn't know about that function until recently. And you know, I don't usually. I will put a special thanks on this page. I don't know if this page will ever sell or like if it'll ever be. You know, this is just a study of someone else's. But hey, I'm gonna throw a special thanks to T Dot. Special thanks. Hey, babe. My girlfriend just came home. I was saying that to her. Special thanks to T Dot. Special thanks to T Dot. I think that's backwards, but you know, I'll throw that on here. Oh, the last one? Yeah. This one? So this is based on the lamentation It's called Lamentation by Batista Franco. So basically, there's this website called getty.edu. They have like, it's a really famous research center and art museum. And they have over 86,000 Creative Commons art pieces of images. So you can actually go on there, use them for commercial purposes. I used it just for a study, but this is by a Italian Renaissance painter from the 1500s. His name is Batista Franco, and I just drew this. It's my own pen copy of it. They use pen too, but for whatever reason, Renaissance art looks different. Their pen, whatever it is, their pen recipe, maybe they're just better with their marks or something, but yeah, their pens just hit different. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously, probably a different pen, different ink. Their materials are totally different. I mean, that's obvious.
Hi. Hi, you. What's with you?
Now I'll share this caricature image in a moment here. I'm almost done. Just got a few more details to get in here.
Boots here.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for picking that up. Huh?
Back surprise.
No, I'm not surprised. It's just I'm just almost done with this drawing. How much is what? So this is the next drawing here. So the caricature. So this is based on a caricature, Leonardo da Vinci caricature. I didn't even know he drew caricatures. But we're gonna actually wrap this up. Yeah. So here we go. I'll let this see it for a moment longer. This caricature looks a little different. The nose is much more distinct on his, and his pen lines are much thicker. But it could also be because he's doing a smaller thing. But yeah, one more time. The last one. This actually took. So this one took a long time. It's about 3 hours for this drawing. And I can only imagine how long it took the original artist, because the original artist, Batista Franco, he probably had to set up the lighting. He had to get the models. He had to give them breaks. He had to come up with the wardrobe. He had to like do all these things. And now fortunately I can just study the way he draws rather than all that. But with that said, I want to say, hey, thanks for jumping in here, T. Dot, again. You'll buy it? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Hey, do you want to? I have to go, but do you want to email me, and I'll go ahead and we can figure something out. You just send me an offer. You're my best viewer, so we can talk about that. Yeah, if you want to email me, I think you have my email. That's huzza@huzzahcreative.com. So that's huzza@huzzacreative.com. So no H at the end of huzzah. And if you want to email me, I'll be sure to send this over. Obviously, I'm going to send this over nicely. So probably ship it in like a nice... Of course, a nice nice package and everything. But yeah, special thanks to T. Dot. Send me an email and we can discuss it. Cool. Well, thanks for even being open to that. And let's talk offline. But I might be back later this evening. I'm not sure. But yeah, feel free to send an email anytime. Take care, everybody. Thank you, and have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions.